Welcome, 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 you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. First showcase auction of the year. What better than an 8 to 64 bit to kick things off, hey? What could be better? Oh. Welcome in the man, the myth, the pop tip, Kaiser Sport Wetten, the Tarjay, Game Room, Granny, Inasuma, Joe Kane, Ren, X, Machina, Joe Migraine, Fast SVT, Crypto Squire, Big Lex, Exploded Hamster, Odin. Welcome in, you guys. Quick Blue, Fletch, Trevor, Mike. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, you guys. Starting off with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dragon Strike, the most expensive of the AD&D games on NES. There's 4 of them. All 4 are offered. Actually, I think Hillsfar is most expensive. Sorry, I take that back. I'm pretty sure Hillsfar is more expensive, but Dragon Strike is pushing over 1,500 here. Highest graded copy of just 3. Okay, Dragon Strike is also rare as fuck. They're both extremely rare. I think they're all rare. I think factory sealed, all 4 of the D&D games are probably very rare. I know CIB, though, I'm pretty sure Hillsfar is still the most expensive one, the most sought after, but we'll see. Dragon Strike's pushing here. The 9.4 is pushing up to almost $1,800. The only price comp we have on it, 9.28 for $840 all the way back in 2020. Isn't it crazy that we're like 5-6 years into Heritage Auctions doing video games now? Isn't that insane? I think the very first Heritage Auctions were like very late 2018. I didn't even know about them at that time. I only heard about them, I think, summer 2019. Absolutely nuts that we're on like year 5 or 6 of Heritage Auctions. Doesn't even make sense. It doesn't feel like that long ago, you know what I mean? 1,750 for Dragon Strike. So yeah, that has to be a brand new record price for this game, I would assume. Unless it's popped up on eBay or something, but yeah, these just, here's Heroes of the Lance, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Crazy that all 4 of them are offered here. Like, that's really, really cool that they could do it all at the same time here. Is this CIB? Oh, fuck. Pools of Radiance is a CIB. I lied. It's almost cool. Heroes of the Lance going for $812. Here's the CIB Pool of Radiance. It's still a 9.6. It's still absolutely incredible, but I did think it was factory sealed when I first saw it. So, highest graded complete in box copy that probably exists of this game, pushing its way to $400. 412. And here's the Hillsfar 9.4A. Now, there's 4 on the Wada Pop report for Hillsfar. So there are 3 Dragon Strikes. There's 4 Hillsfar. This is the second nicest copy of the game. First time selling a sealed copy of this on Heritage. Jesus, okay, well, over 2,000 already, almost 3,000. Yeah, I didn't realize this is the first time it's ever even been offered at Heritage Auctions, pushing for $3,000. Yeah, Hillsfar is still the grail of these. Hillsfar is still the grail of the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, pushing over $3,000. Yeah, the box art on these are incredible. I've never played any of the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons games on NES. Are they actually good? Does anyone know how these play, if these are actually solid games? I think I owned a couple of them as cartridges at one point, but never got around to, you know, giving it a good go. Dragon Strike's pretty fun. Looking for 3,750. There, aight. You predict that a 10-year-old is going to sell their Switch collection, get a Switch 2, become 30, and buy your sealed Switch Mega Collection. Reddit hates, yeah. Reddit hates this one Switch investing trick. The 20-year retirement plan right there, Max. Are the big ballers in Cali not bidding going to affect the prices? Like, maybe. You know? Like, maybe. Not something that I considered, but like, yeah, with California on fire, it could have an effect. I know there was at least one high-profile collector I saw actually on that topic. A high-profile collector said that all of his shit was lost in the fire. So yeah, there are going to be people insanely affected by this. It's awful. And there's just going to be history and stuff lost. You know what I mean? Like, just stuff is lost due to this. Hillsfar does close at $4,000. It's Jeremy Padower, I believe. Padower? Some of you guys are probably familiar with his Twitter handle or Instagram. I don't want to say he's famous, but you know, he has his name out there. Alfred Chicken 9.48 plus, only the 4th sealed copy they've ever sold. Yeah, Alfred Chicken is also rare. Yeah, Jeremy put up a post on Twitter, was it maybe? Instagram? That his stuff is gone. Now, ideally, insurance covers it, all that stuff, but, like, you know, all of us as collectors, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, you get insurance. Okay, something gets lost in the mail, you get insurance. A lot of this stuff is irreplaceable, regardless if you get the money. Right? Like, great, you're not going to take a monetary loss. That is awesome that you're not going to take a monetary loss, but a lot of this stuff is irreplaceable. Alfred Chicken going for $750. It's just another really rare NES game, but it's like more on the niche side. You know what I mean? Alfred Chicken isn't that upper tier of desirability, but if you're full set collecting, Alfred Chicken's a pain in the ass, man. Arch Rivals, though, 9.88 plus here, tied with one other copy. For top. Yeah, tied with one other for top copy on the Pop Report. Only 14. Arch Rivals is getting more love than I actually thought it would. 9.88 plus here, pushing its weight almost $1,500? Yeah, $1,500 on Arch Rivals. Not a game I really think of much. Not a game that stood out to me ever. But must have some fans. $1,500 at the 9.88 plus. Batman 9.6A. We should have some comps here. Ish. 9.48 plus CGC. Went for $1,375. It's the closest comparable there. So this 9.6A copy is blowing past that already. Again, higher number, better game. 9.6A versus 9.4A plus. Yeah, we're looking for $1,700 now. The CGC 9.4A plus in December was $1,375. The 9.6A is now $2,500. What the fuck is happening right now? 9.6A plus, all the way back in May last year, was under $2,000. This copy right now is looking for $2,750. This Batman's pumping. The Caped Crusader is getting some pump. You can't assign a dollar amount to sentimentality? Oh, 100%. I mean, you can't assign value to, like, history, you know? Like, you can assign a dollar value, I guess, but it just isn't the same. Anthony Hopkins' house burned down, 60 years of acting history? Yep. Those fires are no jokes. A friend took a picture from her apartment. The fires were literally miles away. It's so heartbreaking. It's insanity. Right now, my girlfriend has it on TV, like she's watching coverage. It's nuts. Batman for $2,625. Blackjack unlicensed. 9.48 plus or $200. Blaster Master Oval Seal later production 85 plus. First VGA game of the day? Yes, first VGA game of the day with Blaster Master 85 plus. It smells awful. You're in Santa Monica right now in the evac zone. Oh, below the evac zone. Jesus, I was like watching from the evac zone. Jesus, not to make jokes about it all, but you know, I'm live on the ground right now, like watching Get the Greg games on Heritage. And used to drive in those canyons in LA, one way in, one way out. It's a shame. Yeah, that Batman was what's his Insta? You'd like to check it out? I think it was on Twitter, Viridian. Jeremy Padower. How do you... I'll try to link his name here. Jeremy Padower? I think it's spelled like that in the chat. $550 to the Blaster Master. Bomberman VGA 85. It was on Instagram? Gotcha. Any news on Famicom disc grading yet? Nope. No news on that. No news from anyone. As of right now, only VGA will grade Famicom. 0 companies will grade Famicom disc. Not even VGA. They don't grade it right now. Bomberman, $812.50 for the VGA 85. Blaster Master, $550 for the 85 plus. Dracula's Curse, 9.4 second production copy here. It doesn't have the win a trip to Castlevania. Win a trip to Dracula's hometown, sorry, is what it says on the box. There's a little contest splash, so Dracula's Curse does have definitive first and second printings. This is a second print, 9.4 CIB, beautiful, closing at $687.50. Chiller, 9.48++, Indiana Collection. Chiller is one of the best unlicensed games, I think, for collecting. Just has an actual story, a narrative about it. It's a horror light gun shooter, shocking degree of gore and violence. So the NES unlicensed version here is even toned down, but it's still like one of the most violent video games ever. You know what I mean? If you haven't watched stuff about Chiller, you should. You should Google it. You should watch a YouTube video about it. It's interesting. If you're into like early history of video games, Chiller is actually something that I was gonna say it's something that matters. It's something that kind of matters. You know, there's a little bit of story. It's why it still goes for $1,200 in 9.48++. Destiny of an Emperor, 9.88+. This is an insanely high grade on this. Yeah, highest graded among just 5 examples ever sold. It's Capcom. It's a low-key Capcom. It's definitely on the rarer side. It's something that you'd think was published by Koei. You know what I mean? It looks like Nobunaga's Ambition. But Destiny of an Emperor, published by Capcom. And pushing its way to $1,200 here. Yeah, the 9.48+ sold back in May for $750. So here's the 9.88+, not even getting double. Perhaps someone getting a deal here on Destiny of an Emperor at $1,200. Double Dragon 3, 9.68++. Oh, this is not a game that uses an H seam. I wasn't aware of that. Double Dragon 3 uses the left, right, bottom seam. Because Acclaim published their own video games, designed their own, or what's the word I'm looking for? Manufactured their own boxes and seals. Did their own publishing. So, this game, no H seam on it, 9.68++, still legit, still factory sealed, all that good stuff. This must be one of the highest grades ever sold, hey? 9.68+ WATA copy went for $2,200 back in May. 9.68++ CGC right now looking for $2,500. Yeah, this is good. Pushing up to $2,700, looking for $3,000. Yeah, Double Dragon 3 doing pretty darn good here, 9.68++. Yeah, tough in good condition because it's one of those shitty Acclaim boxes. Do you think WATA is equivalent to PSA and CGC is equivalent to CGC moving forward? Yes. But, like, yes, obviously, right, Tring? That's where I think it sits right now. WATA is your PSA, CGC is CGC cards. But in video games, I still do think that CGC can absolutely flip WATA. Right? Like, I put out my video today. I genuinely believe that CGC, in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, however long it takes, right? CGC games could become the frontrunner in video games. Very easy. They obviously have a chokehold on comics despite everything going on, so. 3,250 for the 9.68++ Double Dragon. That's big. It's a big sale. Dragon Warrior 85, hit decreased by 1. First production copy. 10 copies of this variant on the December pop report. First print with the 1 HP on the back. Is PSA Comics taking off? Not launched yet. PSA Comics is not launched yet. Probably going to launch this year. The Chiller is a 2018 grade? That's crazy. You owned a sealed Chiller back in the day? Good evening, degenerates. Good luck in the auction. Video games are dead is what I'm hearing. Cheers. Welcome in, Cristiano. Yeah, video games are popping so far, dude. Video games are kind of popping so far here, I'll be honest. 1 HP Dragon Warrior, $1,250. Duck Hunt, 85 qualified hang tab copy of the game. Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to get some love. It is an 85 qualified, so whether you see it better than CIB or you think it's just a glorified CIB, qualified copies of Black Box of Rare NES are going to sell for more than CIB. Period. Looking for 2,250, 85 cardboard hang tab, Duck Hunt. CGC and WATA are very close at the moment, in your opinion? I agree. You imagine a reseller buying games, grading them, and selling them on a daily basis to make a living, or at least try to? You can try to. You know, it's the same as cards, Leafeon. It's obviously a lot easier, I think, in cards to make a living by reselling, but a lot of people offset their costs of collecting for sure with buying raw games, grading them, and reselling. Even now, you can't see WATA break through the initial controversy. CGC has had plenty, but has a really solid brand. Yep. And I mean, that's why also there's also, like, will WATA Games finally just rebrand to PSA, right? Will we finally just see PSA games? Is there any reason to keep the WATA brand around now? I personally don't think there is. I personally think they should just transition to PSA games. We'll see what happens. Duck Hunt, the VG85 qualified for 2,500 bucks. Yeah, I agree, Sepio. I think that's not bad at all for a qualified. Like, I don't think you'd get this for like a 9294 CIB. So yeah, I think the qualified definitely bought a premium there. Flying Warriors 9.48++. Indiana collection. That chiller was also Indiana collection. By the way, 587.50 there. Friday the 13th, 85 plus later production oval seal copy. CGC raised their prices because they lost 10 million on a lawsuit, not because of tariffs. Yep. I don't know if it's tariffs, lawsuits. I just know that CGC didn't have a great year. That's all I know. I know CGC didn't have a great year and they raised their prices on literally everything. It's a shame the CGC labels are so dreadful. Yes. Yes. Much like with trading cards when CGC was rocking their blue labels, like now that CGC swapped their card labels, I really don't mind them. Right? I'm not opposed to having a CGC card. I even like the CGC Pristine 10. I think it looks fucking awesome. I like the CGC pedigree label. I've told you guys that many times. But the blue, gaudy label, blister pack design. CGC. Why? Why, CGC? Why? Home Alone 9.0 A+. Only 7 copies on the pop report. Only 2 graded higher. That's kind of crazy. 1,625 for Home Alone. Very low-key title. Very low-key title. I'm surprised there's only 7. I'm also surprised the 9.08 still brings in $1,700. Damn, that's interesting. Ice Hockey, VGA 90. Uncirculated, case fresh, pack fresh, whatever you want to call it here. VGA 90 last sold November 30th for 810 bucks. November 30th, 2023. This one, selling for more. Selling for almost $1,100 here. Nice little $300 bump on Ice Hockey. Kirby's Adventure 9.0 A+ actual USA release of the game. You remember the one guy throwing a tantrum over losing 10,000 on a graded game trying to inflate it? Yep. Amazing no matter how big the misfortune some people are quick to dismiss, yet we all know people that get serious stuck in a hole for years over much smaller misfortunes. I don't know the context, Adam. I'll be honest, I don't know I think I moved on from the conversation. CGC should win over WATA because they can use cleaner inner blisters. High time WATA got spanked for that. CGC will be able to withstand PSA in the comics division, but will lose out in the magazines department. Legend of Zelda 9.4 CIB, late production copy there. It's $656. I know it's a last print here. Maybe I think it's a last print or very close to a last print. But that is a minty Zelda there for 650 bucks. I probably wouldn't buy it myself, but I don't hate it. You know what I mean? 500 bucks for the Kirby's Adventure 9.0 A+, and here's Mappy Land 9.6 A++. Beautiful copy of Mappy Land. There's 3 graded higher somehow. Was there a case of Mappy Land I wasn't aware of? Jesus. You've chatted with CGC's head grader and their PR. If you don't like the labels, please let them know. They seem open to customer feedback. I mean, there was a lot of pushback about the blue when it was first launching. Given how connected and married to the blue CGC is, I don't know if it's going to change on that, man. Greg, I'm being honest. Your video about downsizing totally changed your mindset about collecting. Dude, that's crazy. That's awesome. That's, that's crazy. Hopefully for the better. Hopefully it makes you think about what you're doing and what you actually need to own. And that's awesome. Glad to hear. You got the Ice Hockey back in 2023. There we go. That's profit right there, Tip Kaiser. The Zelda's yours. Let's see if you get killed on it or it explodes. Yeah, I don't think the 6... Okay, yours was the Zelda RIP CIB. Okay, so you're not happy with 650. So like I said, I don't hate the price at 650 if someone comes into it, but like I don't think a last print Zelda should be $1,000 personally. I get it. It's I get it. It's a very, very nice Zelda, but yeah, maybe I'm just not appreciating Mint CIB here, but Mappy Land went for a grand. MC Kids 9.6 A+ for $625 into Mega Man 9.0 CIB This is the misprint copy too. Jesus, 8.5 box, 9.2 manual, 9 cart. Yeah, almost $2,000 already on this. 9.0 CIB last sold for $3,000, but it might have had a better box or something. It's hard to do direct comparisons. So $3,000 for the 9.0 back in August 2024, $1,400 in August 2023. Both 9.0s, but you really have to look at the all the subgrades on it, you know? It does make a big difference. $2,000 though for the 9.0 here still. Dismissing the fires in California. Oh, they lost their home and complete collection. No big deal. Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, insurance and payout and everything, like, yeah, lives and like your life is destroyed, right? There is no downplaying via insurance. I agree with you fully, Adam. When you lose your house, you lose all your belongings, you can get a payout. Your life has been destroyed. Agree with you fully on there. You can't wait for PSA? You're tired of CGC and the drama? Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, 9.4A. Remember at the signature auction, right? We had some Punch-Outs that might have been a great deal. November 23rd, 2024, 9.6A went for $7,800. Right now, the 9.4 is pushing up to almost $5,700. So we'll see here. A few more bids, and this is going to be very close to the 9.6A price we saw. Closing at $5,500. So what? $2,000 less than the 9.6A? I don't like seeing this now sell for $5,500, right? I don't think that 9.6A for $8,000 is really bad. Tyson might just not be getting a pump here. Tyson might just be coming down in price overall. That might just be where Tyson sits. Mule, 9.8A plus. Home Alone, iconic. It will live forever. I mean, I'm like too young to really care about Home Alone, Johnny, I'll be honest. Like, it's not, you know, obviously I'm aware of it and stuff, but I don't even know if I've seen Home Alone all the way through. You'll say when I first called out that Heritage used them for that big Dallas find, it was a signal that water started to lose its flavor? Yep. Yep, it's a big thing. Having Heritage default to CGC is a big thing. Worth grading. Boy and His Blob Wii, Fear Effect PS1, and Final Fantasy X2 if all mint. Like, if they're truly mint, sure. I don't think Boy and His Blob is worth grading. I mean, even 9.8A++, what the hell are you getting out of that? You know what I mean? Final Fantasy X2, like, you have to hit 9.8A+ minimum on all of those games. Ninja Gaiden 2, Sword of Chaos, 9.0A+, $587. What's my take on prices so far? Some of the good stuff, Seth, is doing good. Like, where it's standing out to me, like, what the Batman did really good, Double Dragon did good, I think Chiller did fine. Some of the good stuff is doing good. Ice Hockey was a higher sale there, Home Alone 1700 felt good. Where I'm checking comps as we go, Hills Far, I think at 4,000 was a record. Where I'm checking the comps as we're going, it's not bad. A lot of the middle ground stuff, like, I don't know if Mule 9.8A+ for $800 is good or bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's harder to give a take on the more niche stuff. Tyson for $5,500 I think is very fine. But the more popular stuff does seem like it's doing fine. If not even beating older sales. Pac-Man 9.0A+, the 10-gen unlicensed version there for $450. Paperboy 8.0A. Like Paperboy, this 8.0 is pushing to $1,300. Paperboy in 2023 sold for $1,440. February 2023. So it almost sold for as much as it did in 2023. Like, I think that's pretty solid on Paperboy. Right? Like, Paperboy's holding up. I don't even think it's a key title or anything. So, RC Pro-Am, VGA 90 here. Most games before 7th gen are worth grading. 6th gen is... It depends. It just depends. Like, you say most games, right? It's kind of like if I were to say most Pokemon cards, most WotC Pokemon cards are worth grading. It's like, condition is still super dependent. The actual game is still super dependent. Like, there's just so much shit. Even if we're talking before 7th gen, you know? And if you have just like games that don't really matter in condition that doesn't really matter, it's just not worth grading. While you genuinely dislike the CGC labels, the PSA red works for you, maybe because it's a smaller scale. I think for games, the neutral black and white used by VGA WADA is the right decision. Yeah, I think I like the PSA one a lot more because it's like a red border, right? Not an entire... Like, if the entire PSA label was red, I would hate it. It wouldn't make any goddamn sense, you know? This is a publisher seal on Bart and the Space Mutants. Later production copy. I'm not sure, Hamster. It is an Acclaim published game. It is Acclaim published. I'm not sure if Space Mutants... Like, I don't know if it has both H-Seam and this seam. Obviously, if CGC graded it, they have to have confidence. So the later production Acclaim published game, I wouldn't be surprised if it does come in LRB. It fits the narrative, you know what I mean? Because this here is also going to be a back vertical overlap seam. LJN did their own producing. Spider-Man selling for $1,000, 9.4 A+. Strider, Capcom, 85+. You never understood Paperboy popularity? That port was terrible? I don't understand Paperboy popularity either. It makes no sense to me. It just doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't matter to me. Just a weird one to me. You say most isn't don't grade something it's obviously not good, like a game in poor condition or shovelware. Yeah, it still depends, because like raw games will still do better in some cases than like a decent game in decent grade, you know? There's still minimum requirements a lot of the time. Just because this space is so much smaller, Leafeon. Like, if it's trading cards, it's like, oh yeah, just go get it graded because, you know, your graded copy will probably sell for more. But it's kind of like Modern, where you need to hit, like, certain grades, or the raw copy might just sell for more anyway. It's if you're N64 era, SNES, NES, yeah, I mean, it's probably worth grading almost any game at this point. But as soon as you fall out of cardboard, it becomes... You really gotta decide. Super Mario Bros. 3, 9.4 A+, right bros, later production copy. Where's some comps for 9.4s here? We got like a 9.0, 9.0. Do we not have some 9.4 comps? We're looking for $4,000 on it right now. 9.4 A+, looking for 4,500 on it. Nice copy of Mario Bros. 3. Is HA going to default grading with CGC over WADA? Yes, it has been for a long time, Odin. I would say all of 2024, Heritage was defaulting to CGC. I think it's like, yeah, all the way through 2024, because that first Zelda, the one that was found by that kid who had the whole media release with CGC, if you remember, the one that sold for like 280,000, that was Heritage, CGC, like that was fully the whole system, you know what I mean? So I'd say for at least a year here, Heritage has defaulted to CGC. Now, of course, you can grade with whoever you want, right? Heritage isn't going to say, oh no, you have to grade with CGC. It's just if you don't have an opinion, the default will go there. If you say you want to grade with WADA Games, then of course, right? They're not going to bar you. Taggin' Dragon, Bunch Games, 9.4 A+, highest graded out of just 3 on the pop report. First time at Heritage Auctions. One of the more valuable unlicensed games. Kind of a fun cover art on it, I suppose. If you're into unlicensed games, you know Taggin' Dragon. It's always been one of the more sought after ones. Mario Bros. 3 at 4,250. Mario Bros. 2, 9.4 late production there. CIB as well. Minty CIB for 500. Yeah, so far CIB is not getting love today. I will say. CIB is not getting love today. Or not popping, you know what I mean? Not popping off. $500 for Mario 2 just feels fine. Mario Bros. 3, 4,250. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 85 for $2,000. Taggin' Dragon closed just over $1,000 on the 9.4 A+. Turtles 2, the arcade game, another 9.4 CIB here. 9.2 box, 9.4 cart, 9.6 manual. Is the lawsuit still going on? I do believe so, Gino. I do believe the lawsuit is still going. At least as far as I understand. There hasn't been any, like... straight decisions, but I do think parts of it have been dismissed. We were deep diving into it into the Discord. We were deep diving in the Discord. Didn't the owner of HA have some ownership? I don't know if it was ownership or advisory board or investor. I don't know what his actual role was, but it seems like after the sale of Wata Games to Collector's Universe, all of that was severed. At least I assume, like, I'm just speculating on a lot of this, right? I assume that once the sale took place, that's when all those relationships ended. Or any kind of professional or investor owner type relationships. You leave me alone, Mike. The CIB Turtles 2, $400 for a CIB. The CIB complete in box again on Turtles 3 Manhattan Project. Here we go. 9.6 CIB is pushing its way to 800 bucks. Yeah, how did the Mario 3 do? 4,250 for the 9.4A plus. You think it's stable, Rick? Do I need to go and pop in some comps there? You think we'll ever see lowballing collection like we're seeing now in coins? People paying huge premium for the lowest straight grades? The hobby would have to get so much bigger, house, right? That's the thing is, oh my gosh, Trolls 6.0B with the doll still attached. So this game, yeah, you'd actually get the doll attached to the box, and it's a zip cord that's literally like mangled through the box. It's not the most eloquent design, but you do get a Trolls doll with your video game. 6.0B, not the nicest copy in the world, might be one of the worst copies in the world. Very rare to find these factory sealed though. Looking for $688. Maybe PSA will start grading games now? Maybe. Like, I'm waiting for the brand shift, man. I'm waiting for the brand shift, Gino. I think a lot of us are waiting for the for Wata games to become PSA games. Pushing its way still to looking for $875. Again, the strength of Trolls here pushing. The Manhattan Project, the 9.6 CIB, almost went for $1,000, $937.50. Trolls pushing to almost $1,000 here. You overpaid for ice hockey due to your love for the game, but you think RC Pro-Am was the deal? Yeah, what was Pro-Am, like 1,200 bucks? Oh, $1,000 on the nose for the 90? Yeah, I mean, even the ice hockey at $1,000, like, it ebbs and flows in there. I know there's a decent amount of them, but... Curious on comps of the Mario 3 CIB? There was no Mario 3 CIB today. Mario 2 CIB? Wolverine 9.4 A plus here. Remember when I think it was a 10 of this, right? When the Wata 10 sold for like $37,000 on this? What was that, 9.4A? 9.4A plus. This sold kind of low, I think. I was just looking at comps there. 9.4A back in April 2024, $875. So yeah, this is, for someone who wants this, this is much cheaper than the comp from last year. $875 for a lower graded copy. $687 today for 9.4A plus. Wrath of the Black Manta, 9.8A plus plus. Two-Biter, $4.99. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, can we get comps here? I do want to check Wolverine there. I want to check Mario 3, though. Can we just go Mario 3, 9.4? Surely there's enough, right? Surely there's enough 9.4 Mario 3s where we can get at least a little bit of a gauge. Just sold for 4,250. 9.4A sold for 3,600, so we did beat the 9.4 sale from March 2024. 9.4A, 3,100. 9.4A was all the way down to $2,000 November 2023, hey? 2,000 bucks for the 9.4A just in 2023 there. 9.4A plus CGC for $3,000. I mean, this seems fine. I mean, 9.4A plus. We don't see it often, apparently. $3,800 all the way back July 2023. What did it just sell for today? $4,000. So yeah, it beat a sale from all the way back in July 2023. Like, it's Mario 3 is doing very fine. And like you guys said, that's a game that we see very often. It's a game that kind of gauges the market demand. It sells a lot. People love it, you know. So if you start seeing the Mario 3 index going down, might be a bad thing. If you start seeing the Mario 3 index going up, might be a good thing. Worms, Journey to the Center of the Earth, 9.88++, 875. The Wrath of the Black Manta was also mint for $1,200. Zombie Nation, 7.0 B+. This exact copy sold on Heritage in 2019. 2019 for $1,920. We are 5 years, 4 months later here, and we're looking for $1,200 on Zombie Nation, 7.0 B+. Has the pendulum swung back towards rare video games? Looking to match its 2019 sale? Absolutely not on this one. $1,125. Isn't that nuts? Like, August 2019, that isn't even boom, man. That's very pre-boom. $1,900 5 years ago, $1,125 per Zombie Nation. It's one of those things where, like, you know, people ask what you should invest in and stuff. It's hard to... If you're buying something like Zombie Nation in 2025, you should be doing it for personal collection because you love it. It's just, I don't know what the future of games like this are. Legend of Zelda 9.68+ here, classic series for sub $1,000. Interesting. Feels cheap, no? Yeah, I know it's a classic series, but sub 1,000? Group lot of 10 Nintendo World Championships banners, pamphlets, and stuff for $500. Nintendo Power #1 free poster inside, 8.5 for $1,375. And that does it for NES. Oh, just gotta make the little timestamp here. NES has come to a close. We're entering into Super Nintendo now. And of course, tonight's auction is sponsored by Heritage Auction, so huge thanks to them sponsoring. Huge thanks to you guys being here tonight. ActRaiser 8.5A+ kicks off the Super Nintendo block here. And I have to let you guys know, if you want to get into the next Nintendo 8 to 64-bit showcase auction, if you like what you see, if you want to get into this, March 20th will be the next one. Of course, very expensive, very rare CIB factory sealed games from the 8 to 64-bit generation. March 20th, that will be taking place. Consignment deadline February 4th. So you still have about a month to decide if you want to get into it. And there's another one later in the year in July. And of course, Signature Auction is coming up in May. You have until April to consign for that. And many, many other showcase auctions throughout the year. Always taking consignments for the weekly auctions on Tuesdays. Video games at ha.com. Or use the link in the description to reach out to a free referrals, free appraisals. Helps out the stream, let them know Greg sent you, all that good stuff. Huge thanks to Heritage Auction sponsoring. ActRaiser 8.5A+. That feels cheap for $450, no? 8.5A last went for $550 in October. Yeah, this is cheap. This is a deal for sure. But it's a deal for sure. Like, you know, $100, $200 underpriced, I would say. But ActRaiser doesn't really pop off. You know? Like, it's a deal. Oh, it's an upside down recycle logo. I didn't see that there was a, I see. Yeah, okay, it's a deal. Yeah, it's a deal for the upside down logo. Yeah, that's a deal. That's a deal. Someone got a deal on ActRaiser. $1,750 for Batman and Robin 8.0A+. Is that this game is expensive as hell. Is $1,750 cheap? Like, I don't even know. I know CIB is so expensive. Alien 3 9.6A+. Made in Japan copy here. Yeah, we need the Raid Shadow Legends, Leafeon. I've heard Raid pays a lot if you're a big creator. That's why everyone takes it, man. How's the Fox Data N64 console at $400? The controllers alone are like $1,500 each? I'm sure it'll get some pump. I'm sure it'll get some pump. Wasn't that at a time where people thought there were supply on these titles as WATA was somewhat new? Back in 2019, Game Room Granny, on something like Zombie Nation? Rare NES was just very much in flavor, right? In 2019, the hobby was still dominated by, like, the ultra-rare games. The mindset swapped to Mario, Zeldas, and all this modern stuff we see now. that was like, it just took a while to take place, you know what I mean? Zombie Nation is rather niche. Other rare games get a lot more coverage. Zombie Nation had its day, man. Zombie Nation had its day. That used to be right up there with like most expensive, rarest NES games. But, you know, the more niche and rare you are, the more you fall out of flavor easily as well. It is shit condition, sup, yo, but I mean, geez, dude. It almost cut in half from 2019. It sold for close to a minty CIB. Yeah, and bad condition copies simply don't get the love. Alien 3, the 9.6A Plus for $625. Batman Returns, 9.2A Plus for $1,125. Biker Mice from Mars. Konami published, actually, which is probably the most surprising part of this game. $1,000 there. Always been kind of expensive, always been a cult classic. There's another copy, CIB 9.6. This is interesting. 8.0 A Plus factory sealed is about to sell for less than 9.6 CIB. Is that crazy? How crazy is this? 9.6 CIB pushing to $1,500. 8.0 A Plus factory sealed for $1,000. 8.0 A Plus isn't bad. Like, this isn't a shit copy of the game, you know what I mean? That isn't a shit copy of the game. I think it's kind of nuts that the 9.6 CIB sold for $1,500. Yeah, why didn't your CIBs pump like this, hamster? Why didn't anyone want the Zelda? Frickin' Biker Mice from Mars can bring in $1,500. 8.0 SNES is fugly. Open the game and send it in CIB. That's I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just sealed bias, but like 8.0 A Plus isn't bad. 9. I don't know. Seems crazy to me. Bulls versus Blazers in the NBA playoffs. 9.6 A Plus, highest graded copy they've ever sold here on Heritage Auctions. I actually thought this might get even more love, just being a Chicago Bulls game. $750. I mean, I guess that's not bad for a pretty niche sports title, but $750 for Bulls versus Blazers. C2 Judgment Clay, the fabled 9.9 A plus plus, the greatest grade ever given to any video game. The 9.9 A plus plus on Clay Fighter 2 Judgment Clay. Looking for $500. You're annoyed you lost the 9.6 Biker Mice? I at $1,500, man. You should be happy you lost. $8.0 isn't that bad. 8.0 isn't that bad when you're considering factory sealed versus mint CIB. That's what I'm saying, Joe. Like, okay, 9.6 CIB is better, right? Obviously, but like 8.0 A plus isn't getting, like, the Zombie Nation that sold was a 7.0 B plus. I think we can all agree 7.0 B plus is pretty shitty. So if you're talking about 7.0 B plus versus like a 9.6 CIB Zombie Nation, yes, okay, I get it, right? The 9.6 CIB is probably going to sell for more every single time. But like 8.0 A plus isn't that bad. Yeah, I'm just, it's a situational thing, a relative comparison. NES is dead except for the hang tabs and white bullets. Isn't sealed almost a guaranteed 9.8 cart and 9.8 manual? I mean, I would say you're almost guaranteed a 9.6, but no. Late to the party, but you stopped collecting NES games a few years ago? Have they dropped where it's worth buying them again on the cheap? It depends, Ryan. Depends what you consider cheap. NES is absolutely down from where it was 3 to 4 years ago. Absolutely down from where it was. So if you want to get back into NES collecting, if you truly love the console, prices are pretty good right now, yeah. Could they go lower? Sure, of course they could. But like, they have come down a lot, especially if you left collecting around like 2021. There are two 10.0s on Wolverine. Judgment Clay, the 9.9 A plus plus, they're pushed up to $875. Here's Chrono Trigger. 9.0 with a 9.4 box and 9.6 cart. Now, the manual is a 7, so you can absolutely upgrade that manual and get yourself like a 9.4 CIB. Oh, yeah, okay. Sold for $2,100. I was going to say, this is going to get a premium. It's going to get a premium with a 9.4 box, 9.6 cart. Whoever's buying this is very, very, very likely going to upgrade the manual and turn it into a 9.4. Yeah, you'll get a 9.4 overall. Very nice. The Death and Return of Superman, 8.5A+. This is a Latin American version. Is it actually like Espanol on the back? I can't tell. It must be. It's sold for fuck all. Sold for $350. Yeah, Latin American version. You got to be careful with some games. I don't even know how many there are, but 8.5 on Death and Return of Superman, $350, purely because it's the Latin American version. This is actually an expensive video game. Dungeon Master, 9.4A+ here. I wanted to see Judgment Clay. Didn't a copy of that just sell? I thought we had one at the weekly, actually. Oh, 9.6A went for $162. Yeah, 2 days ago. So 9.6A, $162. The 9.9A++, you know, jumping all the way, is what, a 4x, 5x? 5x value. 9.6A to 9.9A++, 5x in value. 162 versus 875. Kind of neat to see. That's kind of interesting. The 9.9 definitely getting some love. Dungeon Master pushing its way here to 688. Oh man, first time selling this at Heritage Auctions. Interesting on Dungeon Master, I didn't realize. Would you rather have a 9.8 NES Zelda CIB first print or a sealed 8.0 NES Zelda? Yeah, like, I have to go sealed. Right? Like, I have to go sealed at that point. Like, the 9.8 is really cool, but like, if you're telling me you can get a game you actually, I don't know, something that's so rare and sought after in factory sealed shape, like 8.0A+ isn't bad. If you give a shit about sealed, I guess. Maybe the person who is buying the biker mice literally doesn't care about the seal, right? Doesn't mean anything. Sealed can be crushed and crush the manual bad or water damage, etc., etc. Yeah, you're not guaranteed 9/8 out of like a factory sealed game. Dungeon Master's Pop 0 on the Wada Pop report. Okay, so here we go. I guess this is why this is getting as much love as it is. Just rare niche ass Super Nintendo here. Or like low-key, very rare, I mean. 8.0 is terrible. Stop the fibbing. Looking for $1,600 on Dungeon Master here. Oh yeah, a sealed 9.6 biker would still sell for more, make no mistake. But what? I don't see biker mice from Mars selling for like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. You know what I mean, Eloist? Like, what does a 9.6 sealed biker mice from Mars sell for? 3,000 maybe? Twice the price of the CIB? Maybe? Seems crazy to me. This is fucking looking for 2,500, 2,750 on Dungeon Master. This factory sealed copy of Dungeon Master, one of the only factory sealed copies that exist, pushing its way to 3,000. Jeez, this is from Dan Kaplan as well. Damn. Damn. Dan had his gems. Yeah, Abs, like, we talk about Zombie Nation doing fuck all, right? Dungeon Master, though, Jesus. This bodes well for Times of Lore? No kidding. That Zombie Nation was just in a bad spot, a niche game with real low grade and the high-end market doesn't really want. A box cart copy sold for $1,200. 8.5A plus CGC sealed sold for $6,800 on eBay. Yeah, I almost think Milk was something like a 7.0 B plus. With a low-grade Zombie Nation, I think you have to put it up bin oboe and just wait for that one customer to come purchase it, right? I think you have to put that Zombie Nation up for like $2,000, $3,000, and you just gotta play the waiting game. It'll be a slow sell, but there's just only so many people who care. Dungeon Master, 3,250. That's crazy, man. Most expensive Super Nintendo sale so far, by far. The other one we had was the hell is it? The Adventures of Batman and Robin had gone for $1,750. Dungeon Master just blew that away, $3,250. Jesus, man. It's impressive. Very, very, very impressive. Earthworm Jim, 8.08 plus made in Japan copy of the game. Earthworm Jim, super popular character from the 16-bit era. Does Jim have anything anymore? Does he exist in any capacity? Is he in PlayStation Brawl Stars? Does he have LRG games? Does Jim have anything? A sealed Biker Mice in Mars only tops out at 9.2 with only 3 copies. Jesus. So 9.6 might actually go to 5,000. Fair. Not a fair comparison. I think 9.6 First Print Zelda versus 9.6 A plus Oval is way better debate. It is. At that point, you know, I might take the 9.6 CIB First Print versus a 9.6 A plus Oval. Earthworm Jim, $1,000 there. I can't even say that word. Exertainment Mountain Bike Rally, 9.98 plus. Wow, the incredible 9.9 showing itself again. Remember I said in my video today, I said it, damn it, I said it. They're using the 9.9 more. You're going to see it more. It exists. How did a sealed copy of Mario survive for 40 years? You know exactly how it happened. That's why you're doing it now, Max, with Switch games. No one's going to question why Switch games survive 60 years. Ahead of the game, man. Ahead of the game. You're sitting on a sealed Earthworm Jim VHS from 2010 or something? Kevin, welcome in. If that Death and Return in Superman was made in Japan, you'd be all over it. Yeah, Death and Return to Superman is just a cult classic, a good Superman game. People love it. It's expensive. Last you heard, there was going to be a new Earthworm Jim game for the Amico. Is that a meme, Christian, or is that real? The Earthworm Jim design team broke up over politics. Oh, no. No! They couldn't handle it. Right-wing extremists just couldn't handle it. A talking earthworm? Like, no! No, damn it! No! What's his gender? Earthworm? No! You get one. You get one of those for a stream. That's it. That's the quota. Exertainment Mountain Bike Rally 9.98 plus for $750. F-Zero 10. The 10 F-Zero. What a games. Player's choice. Jesus. Mountain Bike Rally 9.9 $750. Earthworm would do well with a modern release. Trailer for the new 2D Ninja Gaiden looks nice. Yeah, Earthworm Jim feels like something that could get brought forward by LRG. Earthworm Jim is unfortunately dead. IP holder doesn't do anything with it outside of some merch and IM 8-bit reprint. LRG might re-release eventually, who knows? Yeah, it just feels like something, you know what I mean? Earthworm Jim could do something. Like, it's a decent character. It's a decent IP. Just a shame. It's a shame how many, like, good characters, IPs from back then are just literally dead. I mean, fuck, F-Zero is close to being literally dead. And this is a good, like, you know, like, Jesus, man. F-Zero pushing its way to $1,600 here on the WAD at 10. For comparison, CGC 9.8A++ is $300. Like, player's choice copies of this are very cheap. Even a WAD 9.8A++ is $400. So, what are we seeing there? $400 versus $1,500 for the 10. So, 4x? Little 4x premium action there. Not too shabby. Final Fantasy 3, 9.4 CIB. Whew, that's nice. 9.2 box, 9.4 cart, 9.4 manual. Selling for sub $843 for this, I think, is cheap. Does this have all of the posters and shit? Oh my god, it does. 8596. Man, I don't think you can get yourself a nice Final Fantasy 3 like this for $800. Buyer's premium is the tip that you give to the auction house. So make sure you're always looking at the price with BP. It stands for buyer's premium, and it is 25% on every video game. So next bid there is the hammer price, and then with BP is with buyer's premium, which is the price you'll actually pay when you bid on something. So make sure you're always looking at the number with BP down here and not focusing on this number right here. What's your price guess if a player's choice Super Mario 64 10 shows up? I mean, jokes aside, probably 10,000, right? It has to be. It would have to be like 10, 15 grand. Adam, you were the underbidder on the F-Zero? Did I win my fantasy league? No. No, I did not. No, I didn't even make playoffs. My team was shit. Fantasy football was rough for me this year. Final Fantasy 5, 90 plus, going for $1,000 there. Here's Japanese as well, 9.8. Didn't the Japanese 9.8 go crazy? Yeah, Japanese 9.8 sold December 2024. It was at the Japanese Showcase auction, I believe, for $2,100, which I thought was very expensive. And now we're seeing this copy sell for $1,500, $600 less than it sold for December 12th. That's just, you know, auction versus auction there. Some of this Japanese stuff, like I say all the time, is still selling for probably way too much. So if you're jumping into this, if you're trying to get some of these Japanese games, just be patient and really look around, ask questions. The Discord's available. Yeah, $1,500 for Final Fantasy 6. Final Fight, VGA 90 plus. Eloist, you grabbed the Final Fantasy 3. There we go. Yeah, I think it's a good price on FF3. It's a nice copy. Nice copy on FF3. Yeah, Sly Cooper is dead. Yeah. It's crazy that even things from like the PS2 era is just dead IPs. You want a rare Korean Wii console in the Korean version of Mario Kart Wii Kirby's Adventure for only $50? I mean, that's cool. If you want the Korean versions of those, that is pretty cool. $51 is just cheap. Now, I personally have nothing to do with Korean copies. I don't know what the hell I'd do with them for $50, but sounds cheap. Sounds cheap and sounds cool if it's something you actually want, Kevin. The Final Fight VGA 90 plus, $1,200 there into Ghoul Patrol. Man, that's a really nice... So like I was saying, with high-grade CIB, the CIBs we see come to auction, most of it's CIB these days. Or CGC, sorry. Most of the high-grade CIB... I can't fucking... There's too many acronyms in this hobby. The high-grade CIB is mostly CGC. Sound like goddamn Dr. Zeus out here trying to get these words. Ghoul Patrol, really nice copy though. Pushing its way to $1,000. Yeah, my FF3 manual, like myself, Eloist, I think is still kind of shitty. Unfortunately. IP, intellectual property. Intellectual property meaning like the character design, whatever's owned by the actual company, publisher, producer, the IP, the intellectual property. You'd have to Google it for like a more, a more formal definition of what IP means. Ghoul Patrol, $1,000 for the 9.6. Yeah, not surprised. Just really, like, that Final Fantasy 3 man should have cracked $1,000 too. Congrats on that one, Eloist. That's nice. Gods VGA 90, $1,000 there. GP1, rare factory sealed. Yeah, first time at Heritage, not surprised. Published by Atlas, surprisingly. And if you weren't sure if it was published by Atlas, they wrote it on the bike, they wrote it on the bike, they wrote it on the bike, and they wrote it on the corner of the game. So if you weren't sure, hopefully you can tell now it was absolutely published by Atlas, and they are very, very, very proud of that. Pushing its way to almost $800. Oh, this is also from Dan Kaplan's collection. Jeez. Yeah, rare as hell. Just rare. It's a niche game. It's not a super popular Super Nintendo game, but you have that Atlas, you have that... It's rare as heck. Yeah, does anyone know who published this? Like, is it a Capcom title? Sounds familiar, but $750 for GP1. Gradius 3, 9.6A plus. GP1 is also Pop Zero on Wada, Jesus. 51 is very cheap considering the Korean version of Mario Kart Wii has an average price of $150. Jesus Christ. Yeah, just... It's all beyond me, Kevin. It's beyond me, man. Once you start talking about Korean and stuff, it is beyond me. But it sounds awesome. You should make a Smash kind of game with all the dead IPs in it. It'll probably sell like shit, Mike. A fighting game with a bunch of characters no one cares about anymore. Yeah, like the Cartoon Network game. What's that one called? It's not Brawl Stars. Why can't I think what that Cartoon Network one is called now? Top Tier Shaggy. I can't think of its name anymore. I looked at it. It looked super interesting. Obviously, I like Smash Bros, so, you know, I was interested in that. The Multiversus, yes. I was interested in it, right? Because I like Super Smash Bros so much, but, like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was adding anything new to the platform fighter genre. You know, it looked like I would just have more fun playing Smash. 9.4A plus Hyperzone, $300. Gradius 3 went for $1,250. 9.6A plus. Joe and Mac, 9.2A plus. 9 copies only, and this is the top graded copy and the best one ever sold at Heritage. Joe and Mac might get some love here. 9.2A plus, pushing up to almost $700. It could never compete with a fighting game with relevant characters people care about, like Mr. Game & Watch and Ice Climber. The thing I'm excited for most, Elijah, is the new Super Smash Bros. Cutting half the roster. I cannot wait for the new Super Smash Bros. Game to get rid of like 40 characters that just do not need to be in the game. Thoughts on the first print VGA 85 Plus with Corner Ding? What do you think we'll go for? With the Corner Ding there, Christian, I would bid less on it. It might translate to a WADA 9.4A plus. So look at comps around there, because, you know, not every 85 plus is made equal. So when you can see visual box damage on an 85 plus, you're probably better off comping it against 9.4A plus copies. You know, at absolute best, right, you could hope for a 9.6, but at that point you're gambling. Or you might get the 85 plus a bit cheaper because it has such easily visible damage. I can't price check it right now, but yeah. Look for comps around the 9.4 range on that. It's still going to be expensive, make no mistake, but if that's a 9.4, you'd sell your collection for $1? Yeah. Right? So yeah, see what 9.2s sell for as well. But if the market pumps it, I would just let it go. And Joe and Mac, like I said, is absolutely getting love. Just very few of them factory sealed, and this is the nicest graded copy that exists. So, like, yeah, nearly 2,000 for Joe and Mac, right? The niche Super Nintendo games are doing really well. Because we saw an NES there, right? Like, there were some 9.8A plus copies of not the best titles in the world, not really doing much. Joe and Mac, $2,200. Kirby's Avalanche, 9.4A plus here. Welcome in, Greek Retro Geek. You feel there's a lot of potential reviving old characters and duking it out? I mean, they're like, maybe, right? It's just such a maybe. It's just such a maybe, Mike. Didn't PlayStation's Brawl game kind of suck? Or just sold like shit? I don't know if it actually sucked or not. PlayStation All-Star Royale, I think. I never had a chance to sit down and play it, but... Most CIB collectors you know want WADA. Sellers use CGC because of pricing, especially CIB Plus, and they seem to give a lot more high-grade cart manual grades. I mean, you could say, you know, oh, the collectors want WADA games. But if no one's actually submitting to WADA games, more WADA CIB isn't going to hit the market. More people are just going to be CGC CIB collectors, and, like, it's just going to keep shifting the other way, right? So you say, like, CGC gives out more high grades. Well, you just, like, the market will just adjust for that then. VG Chart says PC All-Stars sold around 1 million copies. Is that good? Like, I don't think that's good, is it? Is WATA the equivalent of PSA in the card grading industry? They're literally owned by the same company, Ryan, so yes. Like, WATA Games and PSA are owned by the same company. And CGA is like Beckett? Yes. Yeah, that is, yes. I would agree with that fully myself. Secret of Mana, 9.0 CIB. Again, this is 9.4 box, 9.4 cartridge with a shitty manual in there, 7.5 manual. Again, upgrade the manual, turn it into a 9.4. Beautiful copy of Secret of Mana, $937. Get that off my screen. Spider-Man Venom, Maximum Carnage, 9.2A plus here with the limited edition red cartridge, pushing its way to 600. 9.2A plus. 9.2A plus last sold October 2024 for $487. So this is already doing a lot better. I didn't realize that maybe that $487 copy was quite the deal. This copy now is pushing up to almost 700. Interesting. Maximum Carnage, doing well. Which one breaks your heart, Oki? Joe and Mac for 600? Is that what you're hoping for? Will we see you refrain from bidding until you get that NES Mario? No. No, because if something is... I'm still going after things I actually want for the collection tax money. And if I think something is easily flippable, I'll still go for it as well. Yeah, for the Joe and Mac, Oki, gotcha. Yeah, I'm still willing to go in for flips and to go in for collection pieces that I actually still do want. I'm not, like, swearing off every other purchase, you know? Gotcha. A lot of people will submit to WATA if they plan to keep the game, but they'll use CGC if they plan to sell. Hence, more CGC is up for sale. Gotcha. Gotcha. I would probably actually agree with you, Brian. I just don't know if there are enough people submitting to WATA to keep for it to matter. You just lost out on the Maximum Carnage as well? Jesus. I mean, yeah, 687, like I said, a lot higher of a sale than last time. How's the auction been? Pretty good. Pretty good overall. The stuff that, I'd say the stuff that's supposed to do well has done well. There's been some pop-offs, some random niche games. Some niche games also not doing that well, so... But it just, you know, it's where we're at. It's that normal... You just see the line going up and down on certain titles. Everything seems very, very healthy, I guess is the word I would use. Yeah, a little bit up, a little bit down, but fairly strong. Like, just a healthy auction. People are competing. People are competing on certain games. People are getting some deals here and there. Just a normal auction, really. Stone Protectors, 9.6A plus, just shy of $1,000. Street Fighter 2, 9.6A Japan copy. $2,000 seems high for that, no? 9.6A is $2,000? 9.6A last sold in February. WATA copy, February 2024 for $1,680. Yeah, I thought this was high. $2,000 for the 9.6A is this is what I mean, right? Some sales are going pretty darn well. Why is qualified a good thing? Because qualified means opened but never used, Grounder. So when you have a complete inbox game, it's a used copy of the game. Even if it's in mint condition, it's been used. When VGA gives out qualified, they're saying it has never been used before, even though it's been opened. So is that a distinction you would personally want to pay for or not? Yeah, maybe, but that's what it means. So it is another level of special versus just a CIB. Stunt Race FX, 9.6A plus CGC copy here. From Dan Kaplan as well. Highest graded copy of Stunt Race they've ever sold here. This is first party Nintendo published game, one that I grew up playing. I don't even remember if it was good or not. We played it a lot though. 9.6A plus is pushing its way over $1,000. There's nothing to even compare to here. The quick lookup gives me a 9.4A plus back in August 2022 for $660. So the 9.6 is pushing its way over $1,000. I don't know. Probably not terrible for Stunt Race FX. People say they prefer WATA, but when it comes right down to it, I don't think most care. I mean, at the end of the day, Retro Game Rescue, for my own collection, I prefer the aesthetics of WATA. Right? I think both WATA, CGC, VGA, they all do a great job of what they're doing. I like the aesthetic of WATA games. Sunset Riders 9.4 CIB with a 9.9 cartridge inside. Jesus, $781, 9.0 box, 9.6 manual. Oof, nice copy of Sunset Riders too. The CIBs, yeah, really nice CIBs here. Castlevania 4, made in Japan, 8.5 A plus copy of the game. Just couldn't squeeze the 9 on it, hey? Couldn't squeeze the 9 on this Castlevania, made in Japan, first print. That's nice. 8.5 A plus on it. Looking over $1,000 easy. Yeah, not surprised. Over $1,000. It's hard to look up quick comps because it's going to mix in all the Majesco prints as well. So, Stun Racer did sell for just over $1,000, $1,093. If you were curious, you have an open case pack of Sonic Chaos. Sonic Chaos on Game Gear. I assume it's the Majesco print, hey? That's where my brain is going. Sonic Chaos, Game Gear, Majesco. And if that's the case, like probably grade them with CGC. You can probably make some money on them, but like it's cheap, man. If that's what it is, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. But yes, you can still grade your mintiest copies with CGC. You'll probably make some money on them. Yeah, Sonic 2 Majesco used to be $10. Sonic Chaos was there too, man. There's like 13 or 15 Majesco Game Gear games that were absolutely worthless. Sonic Chaos is one of them. You have a bunch of WATA CIBs, you'll cross to CGC, so we'll see about that component grades. The results from the one you've done so far, the results have been fairly mixed, inconsistent. That's what I've heard too, Eloist, is that it's not like, oh, CGC just gives out easier grades. It's that it's mixed. Sometimes WATA will give you the higher, sometimes CGC does. Is Sonic Chaos Majesco's $100 now? Seriously, Hiko? Seriously? That's fucked if so. If that's the case, then send every single one of them. If Sonic Chaos Majesco is bringing in $100, send every single one of them over grading immediately. Super Castlevania 4, the 8.5 plus, still bringing in $1,875. Finding actual Japan first print copies of this game, very difficult. And one of the SNES key titles, you know. People love Super Castlevania 4. I've never played it myself, but it's always going to be expensive. $1,875. Super Mario Kart 9.6 CIB second print copy of the game. Jesus Christ, though. 9.6 is pretty crazy on this. Almost $2,000 too. Oof. $1,875 for a complete in-box Super Mario Kart. Tax money! Holy shit, dude. Thank you, man. $23.99. That's like $50 Canadian right there. That's nuts, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gonna go and get myself a nice sandwich for tomorrow. A deli sandwich with that money. I deserve it, you know? I treat myself to something nice. Much appreciated, that. Maybe I'll go grab it tonight, Joe. Maybe that's the play. Right after the auction. Run over to Superstore. Thank you very much, Tax Money. Have a good night, man. Super Mario Kart 9.48 plus, $1,250. $1,875, hey, for the 9.6 CIB. That's one hell of a premium, man. Super Metroid Black Label 9.4 here, pushing its way. No bids. 9.4 CIB selling for $562 on Super Metroid. Ah, man, what are the grades on this? $9.4 box only on this too. It's a 9.4 box. Fuck. That Super Mario Kart, man, seems really expensive to me at $1,875. That seems really expensive. This was Player's Choice, Oki, so like I get it. Been a while since you've done anything with graded games. Isn't there a middleman you can send them to? Can't remember who you recommended several months ago for CGC. Yes, don't pop. There is in the Discord. HG Monty Rainier Consignment does do CGC submissions for us, for people if you want to. He's a CGC dealer. He can help you out with it. If you're in the Discord, you can join in there. You can ask in the CGC channel. I'm sure Monty will reach out and talk to you. But yes, there is a CGC dealer in the Discord that can help you out. HG Monty Rainier Consignment. Yeah, free link in the description for the Discord, man. Super Return of the Jedi 9.6a plus first production copy. One of the nicest offered, I assume, 9.6a plus. It looks like the last 9.6a plus first print from WATA sold for $1,140. That was November 2023. This copy needs one more bid. There we go. We are beating it, looking for $1,250 now. So once again, another game here beating the comp from back in November 2023, which is pretty expected at this point. Just quickly swiping away some phone shit here. Whew. Return of the Jedi, push. Yeah, I'm getting my bids in. I'm getting my bids in here for Return of the Jedi. I just didn't want you guys to know. I've been pushing it to 2,000, but I better bow out now. So yeah, this is blowing away the comp from back in November 2023. Like, blowing it away. Why is the game doing so well? The Star Wars games on Super Nintendo? Woof! Made in Japan Wind Waker's big dude. First, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. Join up in the Discord. Post it up. People can at least look at it, get the condition. You're going to want to get it graded. And then you could do eBay. You could also do Heritage or something like that. Like, Made in Japan Wind Waker right now is on fire, man. I think it was like a VGA 85 just sold for 3,000 or so privately. Big value game. Big value game. Yeah, there's really nothing, you can't go wrong with it. You just need to get it graded and then decide where you want to go with it. Really nice game, man. Really nice game. Return of the Jedi, 2,375. So like I was saying, Mike, the Super Nintendo Star Wars games are very sought after. It's Star Wars, people like them. I think a lot of people grew up with them. I had one of the Star Wars games growing up, but getting the actual JVC first prints on these games is way, way, way harder than getting the second or third prints. So these first prints command a premium, and here we are, 2,375. High grade first print premium. Now that like doubled the sale from back in November 2023. That's surprising to me, but like, whew, $2,300 for Star Wars. Here's Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, 9.4a plus, same story, JVC first print release of the game. We're going to see this pop off too. The first print copies are just not easy to get, especially in high grade. Looking for 1,375 on it. Super Return of the Jedi, you wonder if people back in the day were really fed up with everything being called Super something for a solid 5 years? I would assume so. It's like on the NES that everything is like Ninja or Dragon. Some of these consoles just had their tropes and they went for it. You take it back, Majesco Sonic Chaos sold for $80. I mean, hey, that's still way more than I thought, Hiko. You're probably misinformed. Are these complete in-box or sealed? Which ones? Just games in general? Like, this is sealed. But complete in-box games with WATA games will usually have the different moniker on it. Like, you can see that this is a light green color. This means CIB right here. So with CGC, it's a little bit harder to tell. You just have to kind of read the label. Like, you can see it'll say like complete in box on it here. Complete in box. So if it says sealed, it's sealed. If it says CIB, it's CIB. You just gotta look at it. You know, just gotta look at it. This is fucking nuts. I looked away for a second and the price is $4,000. Highest graded first production copy they've ever sold here at Heritage. The Empire Strikes Back is at looking for $4,500. I think this is the highest price it's ever sold for ever. Holy shit. Looking for $4,750. This is high, Mike. Like, you know, I $2,000 on the other one. I was like, all right, you know, okay. This is... Empire's the rarest of the three in first print? Yeah, more rare than I was even aware of, if that's the case. $4,500. Empire Strikes Back. Whew. This is the one I played as a kid. Very, very difficult game. But I played it a ton. It was fun. Just very difficult. $4,500. Wow. Super Valis 4. 8.5 A+ here. Yeah, I you know, rare, top pop, whatever you want to say. I did not think we were going to see a Star Wars game sell for nearly $5,000 tonight. That wasn't on my bingo card, I'll be honest. Super Valis 4, pushing its way at almost $700, published by Atlas. It always gets a little bit of love as an Atlas title. I think it's a decent game as well. Like, I think the Valis series has some fans, but it's nothing that I know enough about to really comment on. Pushing its way at over $700 here. This auction just feels like all the rare niche collectors come out to play. I mean, that is like what this is, you know? Especially with Super Nintendo, where there are super dedicated fans, no pun intended. That's what the 8 to 64-bit showcase is. A lot of this stuff is things that we will never see in a weekly auction. So if you are a Super Nintendo collector and NES collector, you like the deeper stuff, you have deeper pockets, like the showcase auctions, man. I don't know what else to tell you, Mike. Showcase auctions and signatures. Really expensive games, really rare games, really nice games, but like the bidding is usually very competitive. You see in these Pokemon prices? Yes. I loosely following what's happening in modern Pokemon. I don't have like any modern Pokemon to get in on these prices with and stuff, but yeah, I'm loosely seeing what's taking place. And it's pretty crazy. T2 the arcade game is a Japan early print here. 9.6 A+. This is potentially the nicest copy they've ever sold of the first print copy. It might be the night. Imagine if CGC had pop reports, hey? Imagine if CGC had pop reports. What a world that would be, hey? I should have fucking slammed them in my video. God damn it, I should have attacked them. It's bullshit they don't have pop reports. I blew it. I should have leaned into them. But almost, yeah, over $1,800 on T2, the arcade game. That is also, like, very solid sale on this. 9.6 A++ is, like, that's a big grade, but, like, Jesus. When do you think PS1 complete in box will hit market? We might be a ways out for that still. There are some PS1 CIBs that have hit, but the premiums just aren't there to justify it. 9.2 A+ LJN Wolverine Adamantium Rage. So again, LJN did its own publishing, so this is one of those games that has a 3-side seam on it. Pushing its way over $1,000 actually, 9.2 A+. Man, 9.0 A did $600 back in November? I didn't realize how expensive this game is. 9.2 A+ back in October 2021 was $1,300. So like, here's the 9.2 A+ selling for as much as it did back in 2021. That's kind of nuts. $1,250 for Adamantium Rage. Is PSA WADA threat from the fires? As far as I understand, no. But I don't know, like, you know, I don't know a ton. Yo, Hiko! Let's go, dude! The $20. That's fucking huge, man. Fucking huge, Hiko. Thank you so much. Very generous. Like, obviously, you guys don't have to donate at all whatsoever. It's a sponsored stream, you know, so we get by over here. But Jesus, Eco, that's very appreciated, man. Very, very appreciated. How important is the seal in a VGA grade in comparison to water or CGC crossover? Yeah, VGA grades is everything for the seal. Everything. If you have a shitty seal, don't even look at VGA. WWF Raw 9.48 for $1,250 here. WWF Royal Rumble 9.8 A+. Oh my gosh. Highest graded copy ever sold at Heritage. I wish I could see if this was actually the highest grade copy that exists on CGC. 9.6 A+ sold in March for $1,000. This 9.8 A+ right now is pushing over $2,000. It's looking for $2,500 right now on WWF Royal Rumble. Wrestling fans. Wrestling fans, man, they're serious. Wrestling fans are serious. They have endless money. Endless money for wrestling shit. $2,375 for Royal Rumble. Jesus. WWF Super WrestleMania. 9.6 A+, made in Japan. Early production copy of the game. First print, whatever you want to call it. Pushing over $1,000 as well. Nicest copy they've ever sold on Heritage Auctions. Again. And again, I wish I could tell you if this is actually the nicest copy that exists. Pushing its way, though, to $1,800 here. Would you rather have a car that's a 9.8 that's been driven 50 kilometers or the exact same car 8.0 that's never been driven? I think we're getting too theoretical with that one. CGC is embarrassed to release pop reports. They don't get disclose how many they grade. I mean... I don't know. It's fucked up. They don't have pop reports. Why doesn't CGC have pop reports? It makes no sense. 1,875 on Super WrestleMania. 1,875. Will the Wada slabs get another revision? I hope not, but like it's not impossible. Right? It's not impossible, OK Prime. Or O Prime. Not impossible. Could happen. It's wild how few licensed title video games there were in the 8th gen when they were such a gigantic part of gaming for so long. I think it became synonymous with shitty games. Like if you had like a movie licensed game, I think it became synonymous with like bad game, and that's why it stopped. And maybe that's just me talking out of my ass. But I remember even as kids, once we got to like age 12 or something, you knew not to buy the game based on the movie or the license. You know what I mean? Those games were like, they were shovelware. And I think we even started realizing that at younger ages. Maybe the quality just completely dropped off on them. They just became money grabs, but like, I don't know. They became really shitty. Aladdin, Game Boy starts now. Welcome to Game Boy, everybody. This was a promotional stand piece here for $1,000. Very cool. Disney's Aladdin 9.4 A+ went for $475. The Little Mermaid Capcom release, first production 9.6 A+. Yeah, we have over $1,000, of course. Disney love here. April 2023, a 9.6 A+ sold for $3,000. So this copy right now is $1,500. $3,000 in April 2023. Wada copy versus CGC, but you know, big price disparity still. Will I go for the SMB one on Heritage? Isn't it a 9.6 A+, Rob? I don't have any fucking money. I haven't sold a damn thing yet, Rob. I'm not bidding on anything. Whether it's Heritage or private doesn't really matter, so long as the price is right. You know what I mean? Tonight you saw an interesting comparison. What's better, high-grade sealed Player's Choice or high-grade CIB first? You'd go CIB first print. Yeah, I don't want Player's Choice at all. So, for me, it's just not... For me, it's just nothing, you know? I'm only considering first print copies, so give me the first print high-grade CIB. Like, by far. Player's Choice just... Oh, man. Player's Choice greatest hits, they just kind of mean nothing to me. I don't care for owning a greatest hits copy of a game. Or a Player's Choice. Little Mermaid, $1,750. Still expensive, but yeah, nowhere near where the Wada copy was. I guess almost 2 years ago now. Jeez. Jurassic Park on Game Boy, 9.8A+. Highest graded copy out of just 4 on the popper. Yeah, Jurassic Park's getting love as well. Jesus, man. Over $2,000 for Jurassic Park. Still going, too. Game Boy copy of Jurassic Park. Doesn't Heritage do payment plans? Just tell them I'll stream for free until the Mario's paid off. Jesus. They'll have me locked in for 10 years, Mike. Do I think Pokemon is too cheap at the moment? I don't know if I would call it too cheap, but I think there's still value to be had in Pokemon. Reprints are worthless in other hobbies. Not sure about games yet. I mean, I think reprints are pretty worthless in games. Like, Greatest Hits Tomb Raider on PS1 is worth fuck all, right? Black Label Tomb Raider is still like $4,000. Reprints are pretty worthless in games. 9.4A Kirby's Pinball Land. Jurassic Park did close at $2,375 too. Oof. Big sale on Jurassic Park on Game Boy. Kirby's Pinball Land, the 9.4A, pushing over $500 here. Tied for the highest graded they've ever offered. Man. Only at 9.4A on it too, hey? Oh, they sold 9.4A pluses. I'm going to go ahead and say party foul. Red flag. How dare they compare 9.4A and 9.4A plus. The 9.4A plus, water copy. Fuck. It's all the way back in 2022. $780, but yeah, 2022 comps. So this copy right here is looking for $625 right now. Oh, maybe we'll hit the 2022 comp. It's your red and blue coming up. Best of luck to you, man. Your red and blue coming up. Here we go. Yeah, these are nice copies. Which one's your red? The 85 plus or the 85 plus? The early or late print on that. $625 for Kirby's Pinball Land. Mario's Picross, 9.6A plus. Only 2 copies graded higher. I think Picross gets love. Oh my god. Picross gets a lot of love. 9.6A plus, November 2022 for almost $3,000. This 9.6A plus right here is looking for $750. Why did it sell for almost $3,000 before? Why did Mario Picross get that much love before? Jesus, man. $700 today. I think that makes more sense. To me personally. I mean, maybe I just don't know about how special Mario's Picross is, but like, phew. Mega Man 3, 9.6 CIB is crazy, dude. That is a crazy nice Mega Man 3. Granny! The game room granny. Holy shit. Holy shit. Like, seriously, man. Damn. $25 there. It's like $100 in donations tonight. That is insane, you guys. Insane. Truly insane. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm going to go out, like, after this stream, I'm going to go get myself some food. We're going to eat nice tonight. Like, much appreciated, you guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, for the SMB1 fund. I need to put up the donation goal on stream. Like, we're $75 out of 15,000. Like, buy Greg Mario. That's how a successful... That is how you do it as a successful streamer, right? I just need to crowdfund my life. But thank you, Game Room Granny. Mega Man 3, 9.6 CIB for $625. Metroid 2, 9.4B plus here, pushing its way. This should be first production, right? Yes. It is a B plus seal on it. Maybe you could clean it up. You can see there's some residue on it there. Maybe you could clean it to an A, but it is a little bit of a gamble if you try to do that. Both of you guys! Hamster and Elijah. Just write it off. Just write it. I can write off the Mario Bros after I buy it too. The Keep Greg Swole Fund goes towards protein powder and hearty meals. Yeah, donate today. I just ordered 20 pounds of weight gainer knee high. We're making the push for 200 pounds again. Weighing in at about 185 right now. We're going to push to 200 by the time winter's over. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. The Metroid 2 9.4B Plus is pushing still. 9.2A is the comp at $1,500. That was back in May 2024. So if you can clean this to an A seal rating, this is a deal. I just don't know if it will bump even if you clean it up. You know what I mean? $1,000 for it. I don't hate the price, but if you can clean it, you're laughing. Even if you can't get it to an A, I just don't think it's a bad price. Oh, is there a huge hole? Oh, well then if that's the case, you're not cleaning this bastard up. I didn't actually look at it. What's wrong with it? Am I blind? I don't see the hole. I see a little like nick or something here. Where's the hole? Right of top screenshot. Huh, I don't know. Elysium! Thank you, Elysium, for the 10. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Nemesis, 9.4A here, pushing his way to 400. Thank every single one of you guys there for the donations tonight. 2025 is off to a banger year. Yeah, we're peaking. We're peaking early here. Appreciate it, you guys. One third of the right side of the top screenshot. Okay, I'll give one more look here. A third of the right side and the top. Is this all the rip right here? Oh my god. It's the entire... I see it. Yeah, it's like cuts out right here. It's fucking huge. How is this still a B plus in this case? How is it a 9.4? This is like an actual gash in the box. What the hell is... like, what? I take back everything I said about this Metroid. This feels like shit. Massive rip here all the way around, and you have this gash. Like, that is part of the box missing, is it not? It looks like a nick inwards. Yee. That is an interesting 9.4 B plus, to say the least. And interesting. This is why I say, look at the grades. Look at the goddamn grades, because some of them, like, not every grade is made equal. 9.6 A++ Sandshrew Pokemon Blue coming in hot, looking at 12,500 right now. 9.6 A++ Sandshrew print of Pokemon Blue. Did get some bidding there, pushed its way to 11,875. Is duels in here? What are the comps? Let me know the comps on these, Gary. Pokemon Red 85+ early production copy. Sandshrew here. Sandshrew 85+, pushing its way to almost $10,000. Let us jump! I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you very much. Which Pokemon did you get, Tip Kaiser? The 85+ went for 9,375. The blue felt rather cheap. People might be approving, Tip. People might be approving. We gotta wait for more opinions to come in here. $9,300 for the Sandshrew Red 85+. And here's the 85+ later print copy of Pokemon Red. Blue felt like a deal. Blue text is impossible in the wild. You guess Alexis found out there's a 9.8 in the next auction? Lol. 12,000 for the blue, 9,300 for the Pokemon Red, and 5,750 for the last print. The gap between last print and first print, I think, is too small here. 5,750 versus 9,375. That gap feels very small, in my opinion. I would much rather have the Sandshrew print at the higher price here. Those red blue early prints will be $15,000 to $20,000 in a few years. Great all around. I mean, like I said, I do agree that I think Pokemon has a lot of potential still. Yellow's already at the last auction price. We'll see if it gets any live bids. 9.6 A+ first print. Yeah, didn't that just sell on Tuesday? Am I crazy? Didn't one of these literally just sell Tuesday? Looking for $8,000 on it, or it is at $8,000. Not pushing its way to 10,000 now. 9.68 plus first print copy. You recently sold a Pokemon Blue just like that one on eBay for 11,000. All right. I mean, there we go. So 11,000 just kind of might be where it's sitting. Right around the $11,000 mark. Might just be where Pokemon Blue is sitting right now, the 9.68 plus plus. 10,625 for the yellow. Yeah, that seems heavy. I thought the Tuesday sale made a lot more sense. But in Germany, 9.48 plus plus sold for 9,000 pounds. Yeah, Tuesday's yellow was a deal. This copy, 10,000 for 9.68 plus is heavy to me. Like I think that's too much on yellow. I would way rather have the blue. If we're talking $12,000, $10,000, right? Like, give me this blue all day long versus the yellow at 11,000. But Bomberman Wario Blast here went for 1,875, 9.68 plus. Dragon Warrior 1 and 2, 9.48 plus from the Atwood collection. Shout out Tim Atwood. Yeah, that weekly copy did get pwned, but I mean, we see that over and over, right? Like the weekly versus a showcase versus a signature. I mean, it's nothing new. It's nothing surprising. It just is how it is. Wasn't the weekly one 7,000, 8,000? What did it sell for at the weekly? It sold for $8,000. It sold for 8,000, so an extra $2,000 tonight. Yeah, like 25%. 25, 30%, 30%. 30% difference being in the showcase auction. Like, it is a lot. Dragon Warrior 1 and 2, 9.48 plus for $400. Dragon Warrior 3, 9.28 plus. Also Atwood collection here. Dragon Warrior 3, 8.58 plus. Last one for $264. So this is only at $175 right now. Looking for some love on Dragon Warrior 3. It's just had the re-release. Isn't everyone excited about Dragon Warrior 3? Where are the bids at? To give y'all an idea how quick WAD is right now, you did a middle speed, sent one December 22nd, or December 20, yeah. Says grading now, you sent another January 2nd, scan today, not terrible. No, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. You don't know the Pikachu tax is real? Like, yes, Ted, I agree, and like, yellow is probably always going to do very well just because of the Pikachu tax, but like, yellow, factory sealed, even first print, it's just like, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there, you know? You mean on the VGA 90 Pokemon Blue, everyone said already this is way too cheap for 15K? Yeah, so now you got the 9.68 plus plus for 12K. Or this one was 12K. I just like I don't think those 90s were also in crap condition. I mean, this 9.68 plus plus has to be comparable to a 90, right? It's not a 9.8. I guess you can gamble the 90, right? The 90 could be a 9.8, so maybe it should be more expensive, but like this is pretty comparable. The 9.28 plus Dragon Warrior 3 there, $300 slowly but surely, worked its way up a bit. The 9.68 plus plus here looks better. Fair enough. You regraded the blue and it was 9.48 plus. The 90 swap daddy. You regraded the 90 and it got a 9.4A plus. Oh, don't tell the VGA guys that. I hope no VGA people were here to hear that. Oh no. Holy shit, if so, swap daddy. That's a terrible cross. Oh, the blue that ended used to be a 9.4 A+. Sorry. You're saying this used to be 9.4 A+. Now, it's a 9.6 A++. Gotcha. Don't let the WADA people hear that. Oh, no. Don't let the WADA people hear that. Game & Watch Gallery 2, 9.8 A++, $1,875. Yeah, so every game sucks. I think that's the takeaway, Gary. So every game sucks, right? There's no winning. There's no winning. Buy the game, not the grade. The grade means nothing, and everything's made up. That's why if you get shafted on something, Lettuce, like if you send something in for grading and you honestly think you got shafted, it is worth resubmitting sometimes. Because yeah, there is wiggle room and there is subjectivity. It's like that with all grading, unfortunately. Or fortunately, if you can turn your 9.4s into 9.6. Game & Watch Gallery 2 was a 9.8 A++ for $1,875. That's huge, man. Almost $2,000 for Game & Watch Gallery. Mega Man Extreme, 9.8 A++ for $300. That is not huge. Street Fighter Alpha Warriors Dreams, 9.6 A+. Need machines to grade? It's like people don't want the machines though, because then you get rid of that subjectivity, right? Then you can no longer resubmit. You can't gamble anymore. The machines take away a lot of the fun. You once sent a Wayne's World NES 8.5A back to WADA and it got 9.0 A+. Go figure. Bumping 8.5 to 9.0 is the best thing possible. When it comes to resubmitting and getting a higher grade, is it more commonly seen in cardboard versus jewel and modern DVD? I wouldn't say, no, I wouldn't say so. I think both cardboard and jewel or DVD are just as likely or unlikely to change grade on resubmission. I don't think there's a bias or lean in that, though. Alpha Dreams, $425 there. Tomb Raider, Curse of the Sword, 9.6 A++ on Game Boy Color. Very surprising here. Like, this is, I don't know, it's a Tomb Raider game, I guess, but $1,156? Oof. Wendy, every which way. This is actually a sought-after game on Game Boy Color, if I'm right. Only 5 copies of this on the Pop Report. I'm pretty sure people like this even as a cartridge, even as a CIB. Just like a sought-after Game Boy Color title, you know what I mean? In the collector mindset. Closing at $687.50. Into Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories. It is a later production copy with the later print cards included with it. So it's not Exodia, Dark Magician, and Blue Eyes in this. 9.4 A+ here. Did not get any more bids. It's closed at $1,000 on the nose for Dark Duel Stories. Into N64. We're like 30 games away from the end of the auction, about 70% through. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. And appreciate you guys being here tonight. Appreciate Heritage Auction sponsoring. Once again, if you want to get into the next 8 to 64-bit showcase, it's taking place in March. Consignment cutoff is February 4th. And the May signature auction is now open for consignment. Deadline is April 2nd. And of course, always accepting weekly consignments for the Tuesday auctions every single week on Heritage. Jesus, that was an awful ad read there. My gosh. You can submit for the Tuesday weekly auctions as well. Videogames@ha.com. Link in the description for free appraisals, free referral link. Helps out the stream. Let them know Greg sent you. Huge thanks to them sponsoring. Army Men Air Combat, 9.8 A++ there, going for $425. Sculptor, Clay Fighter, 63 1/3. I was going to say Sculptor's Cut there. I think there's a cartridge coming up right after. 63 1/3, pushing its way to $800. $750. Yeah, N64's lineup tonight doesn't have the big stuff. I agree. We don't have the really big N64 tonight. I agree with you 100%. It just doesn't have that same hit. Like even the WrestleMania 2000, right? It's only a 9.0 A+. Like Quake is an 8.5 A++. There's some games we don't see all the time, but they aren't the key games and they aren't in super high grades. The Super Nintendo offering was just way better overall. Clay Fighter goes for $750. The Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut cart was only $700. Isn't that kind of cheap? $700 for Sculptors? Is it really that low now? Conker's Bad Fur Day, 9.8 A++ copy. Have we ever seen 9.8 A++ on Conker's yet? I don't know if we have. 4,250 on Conker's. Destruction Derby, 7.5 A+. Only 8 copies on the pop report. Actually a pretty rare game. 7.5 A+ here. It has some fading. So, again, not the nicest copy in the world here, but it's going to get some love, getting some bids. Looking for 450 bucks on it. Did the winner of the rare Clay Fighters ever reveal themselves? I don't think so. I don't know if you know, but Nifsky just got the Mario Bros. World Record. Huge. Huge Sneery Crayon. I was watching Nifsky run the other day, actually. I was following that. So yeah, that's huge. Huge, he got it. What is it? It's like, the Mario Bros. Speedrun is now task level up to 8-4, I think. And then 8-4 is the only place where you can actually save time. I'm pretty sure that's how it is now. That's nuts. I believe you can bid if you're any region. I believe so. I think Heritage Auctions offers worldwide shipping. I'm pretty positive. Indiana Jones, the Infernal Machine is big. Like, that is a big one. A very limited release. I think you could order it from LucasArts directly and only Blockbuster exclusive. Like rental plus direct order from LucasArts. I'm pretty sure is the only way you could get this. So it's always been super expensive, even as a CIB. $2,500 for the Infernal Machine, 9.4 A+. That's cool to see as myself, who used to be a full set N64 collector, you know? Indy Jones and the Infernal Machine. Paper Mario, 9.6 A++, $2,375. Is this good? I mean, the 9.8 A++ went for $4,500. So, like, this is half of what the 9.8 A++ goes for. I think this is kind of high. 9.6 A++ versus, it's a CGC 9.8, but, like, you know, only a 2x to jump from this to the 9.8. Quake, 8.5 A++, $225. South Park, Chef's Love Shack, 9.6 A++. Yeah, this is the highest graded copy. I'm not surprised. This is published by Acclaim. It's just really shitty. The boxes are super fragile. 9.6 A++ South Park here went for $1,562. That's kind of real right there. That is kind of real right there. Game Gallery, are you saying that Alexis bought Sculptor's Cut? Did he post that anywhere? Why are you saying that the founder of Reddit bought Sculptor's Cut? Is that confirmed somewhere? Did he post it? Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, 9.8 A+, $1,500. Chef's Love Shack, also $1,500 there. Rogue Squadron is a 9.2 A+. The Sculptor's Cut does go for about $1,000 for a cartridge on eBay. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Do I think Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch is a good investment? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh. Like, if you can get a copy cheap, sure, but it has a low ceiling, man. There's limited upside to that. There's an infinite amount of copies of that game out there. Rogue Squadron, the 9.2 A+, pushing for almost $600. I don't know, Mike. I don't know why Game Gallery is saying that. I need to see something. If Game Gallery can confirm that he posted it somewhere now, then okay. As far as I have seen no one come out publicly with the Sculptor's Cut. That's as far as I've seen. Yeah, I think it's extremely dangerous, Game Gallery, to just say that, is what I would say. I would say do not just speculate like that at all. The last thing I need is, oh, well, Greg's chat said that he bought it. Like, no. Don't lump me in with that shit. If we don't have confirmation, we don't speculate. WWF WrestleMania 2000, the 9.0 A+ for $400. Or say you're guessing, right? Just say you're guessing or something else. Nintendo 64 qualified 80+. Let us jump. Have a good night, dude. Qualified N64 $2,500. 80+, I don't know. Seems expensive to me. Like, I get it, qualified N64, but like, I think I'm just as happy owning a CIB for like $200. Personally. These are Chrome Platinum Fox Data 1997 N64 consoles. In 1997, the UK-based Fox Data introduced a line of N64 consoles and controllers in striking chrome finishes. They never actually got the release. You already reported that Greg reported it as official on Twitter, Facebook, Threads? Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. At this point, we're just going to start saying anything expensive sold to Alexis, right? Yeah, that's a paddling, Nihai. Exactly, that's a paddling. Fox Data Chrome N64 pushing over $2,000 here. Kind of crazy. Never released to the public, exceptionally rare consoles here. There's like, the controllers are coming up as well. Did we see these once before, I think? We had Fox Data stuff, I think. I feel like we've seen these controllers once before. $2,500 for the Chrome console. Here's the gold Chrome, bronze, I guess they're calling it, the bronze controller. Can anyone find the quick sales comps? Because we did see these before, didn't we? Here. What? Thursday, January 9th. No, it's not showing me them. I'm positive we've seen these before. Pushing its way up to $300 and $400 here. These were definitely auctioned a few months back. Yeah, are they the same ones or different ones? I don't know. Do they? Oh my gosh. Let's take some of these keywords and punch it in here. Chrome Bonds, Nintendo 64. Sold for $1,000 in September. I don't know if it's a different one or the same one, but this controller last sold for $1,000. It is a different picture. If that counts for anything, it is a different picture. Not sure if it's the exact same controller, though. Can we just find them all if we type in Chrome Nintendo 64? All right, the console last sold for $3,250. And now it just sold for $2,500. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this sell for less. Like, these extremely rare items are extremely rare and cool, but they don't, like, usually items like this drop in value from the very first time it hits auction to the next time it comes up. Unless you're going to hold it for like 2, 3, 4 years. You know what I mean? Because once you see it the first time, it's like, holy shit, this console's here. Oh my god. But then it sells, and then the next time you see it, it's like, oh, hey, like we've seen this before. You know what I mean? This controller here is going to sell for half price. Yeah, $575 versus $1,000 last time. Here's the gold one. But did these all sell for about $1,000? Yeah, this one went for $1,500. The Chrome one went for $1,600. Gold went for $1,100. So well over $1,000 for every one of these controllers last time it sold. Given that it's all 4 of them again, plus the console, I have to feel like it's... I want to say it's the same ones, but I can't confirm or deny. But it makes sense, you know, seeing all of them again, that it would be the same ones, unless someone also sold their full set of Fox Data Chrome here. Could be possible. I'm not saying that's not possible. The Chrome Blue here pushing its way to $550. If you bought these, you'd never sell? Well, yeah, you'd think whoever bought them wouldn't sell, right? And from September to now is what? October, November, December? It'd be 4 months. 4-month holding period if these indeed are the same ones. So, I don't know. Could be either or. Could be either or. It's super niche to collect these. Not even most EU collectors know they exist. You assume that most thinks it's just custom shelves. They're different! Jesus, man. There we go. That's why I didn't want to say anything definitively. So we have another set of the Fox Data controllers coming up. That's crazy. That is crazy. So yeah, the person trying to capture the prices, perhaps they saw them sell for like $1,500, $600 this time around, right? Getting about half price on the controllers so far, a little bit less than half. The console almost sold for just as much, but yeah, trying to chase some. I mean, maybe it's the best time to sell, maybe it's not. I don't know. It's tough. Niche stuff like this is really tough to time. You think Pixel grades controllers now? If you could get these graded, I think you'd do better on them. Rick, why do you say there may have been a case of Indiana Jones graded? Are there some more high-grade copies somewhere? Evan, also, thank you for confirming that this is a different set. Much appreciated. I was going crazy there trying to figure it out. And the auction totals just about passing 200 grand here. Heritage apparently reached out to a collector in Norway, wondering if he'd consign. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I mean, shoot your shot, right? We have some GBA and some original art coming up here to close out the auction right after these controllers. I just have to go for the bathroom 1 second. I tried to, like, 1 second. Whew. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. The gold controller almost got to $1,000 and so did the platinum one. But yeah, every single one there sold for less than it did last time. Again, not surprised to see that. Niche stuff doesn't generally hold up. Oh. I love gold. Yes, sir. The gold rumble pack, Fox Data. This didn't sell last time, so this could do really well. If you're collecting all of them, you don't have the rumble pack. $375 for the Fox Data rumble pack, which brings us to GBA and just about the end of the auction tonight. Mega Man 02 9.8 A++ starts off. Highest graded out of 4 copies they've ever sold here at Heritage. Probably the first 9.8 A++, yeah. First time this is sold. We'll see if 9.8 A++ gets some love here on GBA for 0-2. The Rumble Pack is yours. Or did you buy it? Did you buy it or sell it, Retro Game? $375 there. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know if that's good or not. It is just a Rumble Pack at the end of the day. All right, you bought it. Well, $375 to me seems a bit expensive, but it's a cool item. Insanely rare, insanely cool, but you're going to have the an absolutely pimped out controller. $375 seems cheap? Man. There we go. Fair enough. Mega Man 02, $450. Doesn't feel expensive. Doesn't feel expensive. Where will you find it cheaper? Yeah, you might not find it cheaper, Rick. But do you need a $400 Rumble Pack? And are you going to be able to sell it for more? Like, I don't know. I guess like $375 isn't. Would you rather just have a controller then for like $600? Like what? The gold controller was $850. Is that also a good price? Like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's very tough with the stuff that has like no comps. Very low market liquidity, you know? Ninja 5.0 9.08 for $1,200 there. Pokemon Emerald PAL version 9.4 A++. Spanish version, sorry. Spanish. Espanol. $937.50 for the 9.4 A++ on Pokemon Edición Esmeralda. Pokemon Sapphire version 9.6 A++. Beautiful copy of Sapphire. The 9.6 A+ last sold for $2,500 November 7th. 9.4 A+ also sold for $2,500. So the 9.6 A++ is pushing its way to almost 5,000 here, looking for $4,500. That 9.6 A++ premium right here. Or maybe that other 9.6 A+ was just dirt cheap. It was CGC. Ew, yuck, CGC. What a 9.6 A++ here, pushing its way to $4,500. CGC has gotten hit hard in the Pokemon community now? I'm not sure what that means. I simply need more context for that, Goob. As an EU collector, you think they were good prices? I mean, it's all down from the last time it sold. So at bare minimum, you didn't come in at the record high prices on the Fox data, right? Whether you bought the controllers, the console, whatever it is, like all of it is lower than it was. The Pokemon Sapphire 9.6 A++ is looking for $5,000. Good for the buyer on the Fox data stuff. Hey, I mean, Retro Game Rescue seems happy with it, so I'm not gonna, you know, like, hey, this is stuff that, you've never seen the Rumble Pack? The controllers show up more often? Fair enough. Yeah, you sound like you know more about it than I do, so all I can do is offer an opinion as a, you know, distant standby. $5,000 for the Pokemon Sapphire 9.6 A++. Can water grade super rare games like Machinarium? Yeah, they can grade anything so long it's a standard size. So long as it is a standard sized video game, Wata Games can grade it. Doesn't matter who publishes it. This is the E3 trade show Piranha Plant original concept art, which I'm pretty sure we've saw before. Let's go, Knee-High Park. Did you see the sales on Concord on eBay, Knee-High? Like, unironically, Concord was selling for like, I think $300 for the 9.8 A++. Like, Concord is printing money, unironically. Concord was the game we all should have bought. I was wrong again. Damn it. But Knee-High, thank you so much here for the $10 for the artwork after party. We got 8 artworks here. I'm pretty sure this Piranha Plant for $1,500 was sold before. I'm pretty sure this exact piece of art. Let's see if we can get this. Trade show booth piranha plant. Can we just type this in? January 9th. Yes! I appreciate you so much, Dumality, with the 20. That's huge, dude. Glad you're enjoying the channel. Glad you're enjoying the stream, even though you're not into graded games. I do know about animation cells. Like I've looked. I'm a huge DBZ fan, right? So I've looked at animation cells. I've looked at what they cost. I've looked at kind of the collectability of them and stuff. And the market scares me because I just don't know enough about storing them safely, having them, pricing. Like it all seems like something where I at some point, I think I do want to buy some animation cells for DBZ, but I just don't know enough about it at this point. But that's super cool that you're into collecting them big time. It's a cool market, then they're amazing pieces. Like, it's literally art collecting, right? It doesn't get much better than that. The controllers have a better future, you would think. There are several collectors who focus on the controllers. Never seen a collector that focuses on the Rumble Pack. That's my issue with it, Adam. The Rumble Pack just seems niche. You know, it just seems niche to me, the Rumble Pack. You bought the Ninja 5.0 for 1,200 bucks. I meant to comment on it, yes. 9.0A, I think it was. Yeah, $1,200. CIB is like $700-800. Yeah, it's a good price. Like, it just is. It's a good price to get a factory sealed copy. The last time this was auctioned before, and it did not get paid. The Piranha Plant. So you can check in the archives there. There's a little filter on the side for not sold that you can click, and then it shows things that, for whatever reason, did not get paid, did not end up selling. So this Piranha Plant is the second time, and yeah, 1,500 bucks. I don't remember what it sold for the first time around, though. Just the factory sealed 9.8A++ is a goob. Those are the only Concords doing well. First time you used Rumble Pack on your GoldenEye back in the day and you thought it was the most amazing thing? We never owned a Rumble Pack, Elysium, so Nintendo 64 has obviously a lot of games that use it. Ocarina of Time had something called, what, the Stone of Agony? The Stone of Agony would rumble when there were, like, certain things, and we never had a Rumble Pack, so I never got to experience that. That's what I know about the Rumble Pack. You found DBZ backgrounds on eBay, can't tell if they're legit. That's another issue for me as well, though, is I don't know how to authenticate production cells and stuff, right? It's just out of my realm. It's out of my knowledge base. Marty the one-man party. 25 months. Is audio not coming through, Mike? I'm still getting the audio on my end. Are you not getting the TTS? Is text-to-speech not working? Or do you just mean that it actually comes through with the normal voice? Yeah, cell rot is what scares me so much. You guys aren't getting TTS. What? 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 No TTS. There were so many. I wasn't reading them out loud because I thought TTS was hitting. Oh no. Oh no. What the fuck? That's awful. Oh, no way. Ah, man. That sucks. Well, I'm gonna have to go into, gonna have to go and check out the settings on that afterwards. Frick. Yeah, it's text-to-speech. It's like when you, when someone donates or it says something in a message at them, it's supposed to say it out loud. And, it's set up, it's supposed to be set up, and And it's one of those things where, like, I have no way of knowing it's not working. Like, I didn't, like, you know what I mean? Everything looks fine on my end. I'm hearing them. They sound great. Thanks for all those great messages, you guys. Like, it sounded great. Ah. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah, everyone take back the donations. Everyone refund the donations. Defenders of Dynatron City here. Original comic book development. Original art of Buzzsaw Girl. The Combat Tribes unused box art went for $1,000. These were group lot of 6 Combat Tribes again for $937. The bidding is kind of slow on the art so far, but it is getting some real prices. Once this wraps, you mind looking through the Ninja 5.0 graded in 2020? Looks like it might be undergraded unless those are impressions in the top right front of the game. Sure. Yeah, it did announce when they donated. Did it or not? Now I don't know if it's working or not. Ay. Do you even get the sound notification? Were you guys getting a sound? Like the just any noise? Is it just TTS or is it just no sounds at all? Great. Not getting any audio from the auction. Yeah, you know what?
Fair warning.
Is it working now?
Next lot. $5.
Right?
$30.
Right?
$40.
Right?
$50.
Fuck! Alright, solved.
$60.
Solved.
$70. $80. $90.
Last time when we streamed, the audio was absolutely jacked, so I turned off desktop audio on Streamlabs. So with desktop audio turned off, anything that comes through, like TTS or everything else, was unfortunately muted as well. Wonder, that was on Tuesday, it would have been muted too then.
Fair warning. Wonder
how long that's been muted. Oh well. Oh, it's solved now. We're back. We're back, everybody. We're back. Damn it. That sucks. Sorry, guys. Little things. The little things, you know? The little things with streaming. Do you think game collecting can be an addiction for people? You see those huge crazy collections on YouTube and can't help but think surely that sort of mentality isn't healthy? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Game collecting at its core, like, the hobby is spending money, right? The hobby is continual dopamine hits. So I absolutely think there is a correlation and connection between game collecting of anything, and addiction. Now, when does it become addiction? You know, that's a scale all on its own. Yeah, it's hoarding, addiction, collecting. If someone is or isn't addicted, it's very hard to make a distinction. It's going to be a different question or answer for everyone, but I absolutely think there's a correlation, yes.
Testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3.
Please work. Please work. Everything come through? There we go. Jesus. We're back, baby. We're back. Thank you, Adam, for testing it out with the $20. Thank you, Adam. This is Yo Noid color composition original video game box art. So this is, I believe it's before the actual painting.
$2,000.
It is by Greg Winters, very well-known artist in the video game sphere. I think it's before the actual box art is made. They, like, you know, do it on something less permanent, and this is what you get, right? Pushing its way to almost $2,800 though, Jesus. This is the color preliminary before the actual painting. You have the final painting. Of course you do, Adam. Of course you do. Of course you do, Adam. Why not, hey? So there you go. This is what you get before the final painting, which I guess is owned by Adam in the chat. Then this is pushing its way up to almost $3,000 here just for the color preliminary. Jesus. Yonoid fans are showing out here. Yeah, 20 was a big test. 20 was a big test. And that's what I even wonder for myself, though, Mr. Frazzles, is when I make these videos saying I'm going to cut back on my collecting and I'm going to sell off stuff and all these things, right? I had the collection of 2,000 games. I have boxes of shit all over my house. Like, at what point has the collection taken over the person? You know what I mean? Addicted and proud, but who needs money? And so much with video games. Like, I know I've said it before, but the idea of the game room, of having this room with thousands of video games, that is very romanticized. That is very celebrated in this hobby. It's not about getting your just, you know, your amazing few pieces. No, you're supposed to own hundreds and hundreds of games. You're supposed to never sell video games you buy. It's, a lot of bad mentality that, gets spread around in a lot of collecting hobbies. Is the Concord controller rare, or is the high price just hype? I think the controller actually is quite rare compared to the game. I think. But the price is also just hype. Like, I personally wouldn't buy one. You're buying a piece of merchandise for a failed game at the end of the day. For me, it does nothing, you know? You feel like people see a 1 in 10K collection online and feel like they need to do the same? Yes. The collection has definitely taken over the person with me. It's insane. Me too, dude. Me too. That's why we're stripping it back. That's why we're stripping it back.
Fair warning.
We don't need all this shit in the house anymore. It's fun. It's fun when you're in it, man. It is great when you're in it, but yeah. Time to get rid of some stuff. Greg Winters, the Yo-Noid preliminary did sell for $4,500. Yeah, that is still a very real price for that. Is this something you have any interest in pairing up with your painting, Adam? Or do you just, like, doesn't matter? You already have the Grail piece.
$60.
This is Young Merlin, original video game preliminary art. Original preliminary artwork for Young Merlin on Super Nintendo, created by artist Corey Wolf.
220.
Did anyone here get the Mario Kart sign? I agree. Did anyone get that Mario Kart sign? It was a cool item. Sold for like $1,000, I think, for that Mario Kart sign. Neat item, neat item. No one mentioned it, so I assume no one did. You bid it up to $1,000. Jesus. I saw on the description, Ted, though, that it saw like one of the wheels was broken off and was glued back on. So the condition definitely wasn't that great. You've definitely seen the collections of walls of games and felt like, damn, your collection is inadequate? Yep. Only collect games you intend in playing? You've heard that nonsense all the time. Yeah, I don't prescribe to that either. Who cares if you're playing it or not?
$380.
You did put in a couple bids on the Yo-Noid, but you have some other art already for Yo-Noid? Gotcha. Yeah, I was curious if that was something where it's like you really want to pair those up or not. Fair enough. Yeah, the wall of games or the room of games and the guy with the RGBs and 500 games and he has every single console hooked up. Like, it looks way better on Instagram or it looks way better in a YouTube video than it is to actually be the person who owns and has to look after and curate all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Next lot.
It's like the idea of all that is actually way better than the, like having all that shit.
$80. $550, $600, and $700, $800.
If there's one game art piece I could have, which would it be? Jesus.
Fair warning.
My immediate thought was like the first Dragon Warrior. I don't even know though. That's tough, Mike. That's tough. The original Dragon Warrior's up there. It's just so iconic to me. You know, like, played that game all growing up, watched speedruns, like... That's the one that comes to mind immediately. Donate all of my collection to you so I'll have more space. The NES Wolverine color, the Jim Lee art, yeah. A lot of the comic book covers are also... a lot of the comic book covers are obviously awesome for video game covers as well. How much did your friend pay for the Mortal Kombat logo? I don't think he disclosed that publicly, Rob. I don't think he disclosed that publicly, so I'm not at admission to say. Because I don't think he shared it publicly. Because I think I pressed him on it on our first episode as well, and I don't think he was saying. So. It wasn't cheap, I'll tell you that. It was not cheap. You have a lot of systems hooked up with the RGB and HDMI, use EverDrives and clones on them. You do like playing the regular consoles, but sometimes you buy games you've never played. The experience of the original console and system is special compared to emulation. I agree. There is a tactile enjoyment there. I agree with you fully. Yeah, there is. There's an enjoyment there. That I'll leave it at that. There is. 100%. The Pokemon Blue, the 9.68++, the Sandshrew print, closes as the #1 item in the entire auction at just shy of $12,000. The Pokemon Yellow, like I said, was very close to the blue price, where I would just get the blue myself, personally. But the Yellow first print, ESRB there with $10,625. Pokemon Red, 85+, also first print, Sandshrew screenshot, 85+ for $9,375. Then there's a big gap down. Man, it's all Pokemon. This was Pokemon dominated, hey? Five of the top 6 are Pokemon. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was $5,500 for the 9.4A. Pokemon Sapphire, 9.68++ for $5,000. And the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back might be the single most expensive or surprising result of the entire auction. $4,500 for it. The 9.4A+ first print here. Like, I think that has to be, right? I mean, Hillsfar at 4,000 is also up here in the top 10. That was really good. And Dungeon Master, I guess, also needs an honorary mention here. 3,250 for it. I don't think anyone had Dungeon Master selling for $3,000, let alone being what, the number 10 item in the whole auction? Maybe number 15? Like, kind of crazy. At the other side of the auction, only one item can sell for less than every other game in the auction. There was this, which is some original artwork. That did sell for $124, but we're interested in the video games. And tonight, it is Blackjack, published by American Video Entertainment, unlicensed game on the NES, 9.4A+, selling for $206. Unlicensed NES, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't know if there's much of a future for it. It was already niche to begin with full set NES collecting, because a lot of people would collect full licensed set of games, right? Even back then, when people were collecting every single NES game, unlicensed was still its own thing, where it was like the extended library, right? People would only collect the licensed set of NES games. So, Blackjack on NES for $200, factory sealed. Cool if you're into it still. Cool if you're still into unlicensed NES. I'll put it that way. Whew, look at that. Hey, we peaked out around what? Super Nintendo? 140 people we peaked at. You love to see that. Then we just slowly whittled our way down as the night went on. But hey, I get it. It's 2.5 hours. It's a long stream. I need to race to the grocery store. Have they sold any of the Bible games? I believe so. I believe so, Doom. If you make an account, a free account at Heritage Auctions, you can browse their sold archive of everything. I'm pretty positive they have sold King James IV Bible or whatever on the original Game Boy. I think it's come up a couple of times. And of course, all of the NES games, the Wisdom Tree games, those have sold on as well. The NES Wisdom Tree games actually still do decent. Those ones have some value. Those ones have always been, you know, more collectible out of the unlicensed games, just because they're such a novelty. I think AVGN probably talked about them too back in the day, so they're pretty locked in, you know? Pretty locked in. But on that note, I hope you guys all have a great night. Join the Discord, free link in the description. Huge thanks to Heritage Auctions sponsoring tonight. Videogames@ha.com to reach out, talk to a consignment expert. There's a link in the description, get free appraisals. Whew, thank you guys so much for the donations tonight. Sorry about TTS being off. I mean, it pisses me off more than anything. Glad we got that fixed. Yeah, biggest winner tonight, TTS, I tell you, hey. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I will talk to you on Tuesday. I'm always in the Discord for questions and stuff if you want, and have a good night, everybody. Take care.